Oh, there we go. We got the mic on. What's up, you guys? Happy Tuesday. It is good to be back here with you for another week of AI or live AI and automation news, tools, and Q&A. My name is Kyle Kurzhal, and I'm here to help you learn how to use AI and automation to get back your time, grow your investing, grow your business, whatever it is that you're doing, no matter what stage that you're in, whether you're an expert or whether you're someone who's brand new. This time is here for both you and I to be able to learn about the updates in the AI space, the new tools that are out there, and to work through different use cases for the tools and for the news that's coming out. My name is Kyle Kurzhal again, and I'm an expert in AI, well, specifically in automation of all kinds, and that includes AI. I have been working in the software engineering space for over 11 years now, currently working as a CTO at a startup. And with all the stuff that's happening in AI, things move so quickly that you really just have to set aside some time to be able to stay on top of this stuff. And this is my attempt to do that. So that way, first of all, selfishly, I can learn on my own time. I can get up to date with some of these tools, understand what the implications of these are, and then have a way to think through how I'm going to use these. And then secondly, this time is really also to open up some of my time in my week for you guys. And you know, I mentioned for your business, for your investing, or whatever it is you're doing, I really kind of want this to be actionable for everyone. So if even if you're like a complete beginner, my hope is that you can come into here and then you can go through the news with me. I can add a little bit of color to it from a technical perspective, but then hopefully I also really kind of get it down to something that's really relevant for you. So that's my hope. That's what my goal is here with this. So if you during this have any questions that you'd like to ask me, there's like two ways that you can ask questions, because I don't want this to just be, oh, I'm going to read the news and that's it. I really want you to be able to ask questions. So if you do have questions, you can either drop them in the chat. And I know the chat is a bit limited, so I also have a link that I've already put there in the chat for you guys to use. It'll collect some more information from you and about you, including your question. So that way it's a way for you to put it like a longer question in there without getting limited. And then I'll see that coming live on my side. So what I try to do is stop every couple minutes between the articles or the tools, whatever it is that I'm doing, and then look at the chat to see, and those questions to see if there's anything new that has come in. If you just want to say hi, definitely drop a hello, a friendly little hello there in the chat, and I'll see that as well. As I have time, here and there, I'm going to pause and we can go back and forth a little bit, and it can just be a good time together. My goal is to try to have this done within about an hour. So hopefully around 7 o'clock Central Time, roughly, we'll cut this off. Sometimes I go over, oftentimes I go over a bit because there's just so much going on. So hopefully that gives you guys a good idea of what this time is about, who I am, what we're doing here. We're going to hit the news first, like usual, and then we'll get into a segment on tools. On the tools section, I want to follow up with what we started with last week. I was running a model on my own computer, and I kind of want to like hook it into something like Hermes. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about Hermes. Obviously, some people really like the Claude bot. I'm just kind of curious to see what it can do. And I think hopefully that that model from Google, that 12 billion parameter model, will be sufficient to be able to do some actually kind of useful stuff. So we will see. Hopefully this time the recording won't freeze, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, let's go ahead, and before I start, let me check our chat and make sure we don't have anything there from anyone. Let's see here. Again, I want to make sure I cover everything up front. Okay, I think we are good to go. So let's go ahead and hit our first article of the day, introducing GPT Live. So this is an article from OpenAI specifically. They say a new generation of voice models for natural human AI interaction, now powering ChatGPT voice. Very nice. Oh, so they've got a little video here for us. I think I'm going to skip that tonight because we got a couple articles we need to go through. So they say they're launching GPT Live, new generation of voice models that make talking with AI feel much more like having a conversation with real people. It's built on full duplex architecture. It can listen and speak at the same time. That's really nice. Okay, it's paying attention with phrases like, yeah, okay. It's our smartest voice model yet. Requires web search. Okay, questions that require web search, deeper reasoning, more complex work. It delegates to our latest frontier model. So that's 5.6, I think. And then behind the scenes, it brings the result back to the conversation when it's ready. While it works, it can keep talking with you to maintain flow of conversation. At launch, it'll use, GPT 5.5 in the background. So they'll start with 5.5. At least they were as of the release of this article on July 8th. So let's see what else they have to say. Advances power new GPT voice experience. Beginning to roll it out in 2 versions, Live 1 and Live 1 Mini. So let's see here. API is coming soon. Okay. Previous approaches of their voice AI systems brought us closer to the vision with important trade-offs. Let's see here. Their cascaded voice systems rely on a series of models acting one after another to process each turn. The original chained 3 models together, a speech-to-text model to transcribe, large language model to produce a response, and a text-to-speech model to convert it back into speech. This enabled us to talk to frontier AI models for the first time, but its complexity came at a cost. Information could be lost across models, and responses were slow and stilted. It makes sense because it has to go through all these layers. So, turn-based voice models, the advanced voice mode processed and generated audio with single model, reducing latency, making conversations smoother. Still operated through discrete turns. Okay, resulting in rigid back and forth because of turn detection is based on silence. And so basically it would interrupt at unnatural times. So that's like if you're thinking, between your sentences. GPT Live addresses these limitations through 2 architectural changes. So continuous interaction. Okay, instead of processing a sequence of separate messages, it continuously processes input while generating output. Very nice. So basically it's running, it's not like you put in input and then you get an output one time and you do that over and over again. It's more like a stream, like a video stream, or like this live stream where you have input coming in at all times, like my microphone or my video, and then the output of that is in this case it's the text, or the voice, I guess is actually more accurate to say. So it allows the model to gauge more natural back and forth. Okay, so it makes decisions many times more per second. Whether to speak, continue listening, pause, interrupt, invoke a tool. That's cool. Let's see what else they say. Delegation for deeper work. Okay, so when a question requires search, reasoning, delegates a task to another model. So basically it says to another model in the background, hey, I need some extra information. And so it'll keep kind of going while that information is processing. And then when it's done, it comes back and then it's able to give you the real information. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. This is going to just make this feel a lot more natural. Okay. So the deep blue is the Live 1. Light blue is Live Mini. Pairwise conversation preference versus AVM. Model conversion, conversation ratings. Okay. AVM is advanced voice mode in this case. So basically it's better than their advanced voice mode that they previously had. The mean rating out of 7. So this is getting much higher and much better. It feels easier to interact with, which is nice. Let's see what else. Voice telecom. Yeah, so like having like AI phone assistants, things like that. Okay, let's see. So it sounds like when you tap your voice button on ChatGPT, you'll get the improved experience. So very nice. Smarter answers, better listening, visual answers at a glance. Oh, nice. So okay. Some answers are more useful when you see them. So it'll show like cards like this. Very nice. Safety design for voice. Depends on safety. Expanded safety testing. Built-in safeguards. Cool. Let's see about the limitations. So it's across iOS, Android, and ChatGPT.com. It's the default model for Go Plus Pro users. So for basically everybody, the Mini will become the default for free users. So if you're a free user, you'll get the Mini, but it'll still be better than the Live, the advanced voice that they previously had. Let's see here. Optimized it. Okay, at launch, it will not support voice with video or screen sharing in ChatGPT, but they're working to introduce these soon. So you won't be able to like, use a video while you talk to it or something like that. But it sounds like they're moving towards that, which is really, really nice. That'll be a great improvement. This is awesome already. I love, I've set up some AI voice receptionists for people in the past. And at the time when I first kind of started doing it, they were pretty good. Like I was really impressed and generally thought it was really useful. But this is a step in the right direction to make this feel really, really good. Like we're talking about this is indistinguishable from a real person, almost. I think there's probably going to be some tells, but generally speaking, like this is going to be what makes this like you. I'm just thinking, you call somebody up for a business. Maybe you want to order takeout or something like that. I don't know, or inquire about what services they offer. And it goes through all the information with you and it's more interactive and it feels more natural. You can ask whatever kind of questions you want. Helps you book appointments, stuff like that. And like, there's no like delays, or there's very little delay. So this is the kind of stuff that I get excited about as far as use cases for AI. So very nice from OpenAI. That was released a couple days ago. So this should be live today, actually, when you guys go look. Let's take a look here at our chat to see if there's anything else from anyone else. Okay, guys. There's nothing else there. So let's move on to our next article for today. GPT 5.6 Frontier Intelligence that scales with your ambition. Look at all the fancy graphics. Ooh, that's very exciting. More intelligence from every token, stronger performance per dollar, and more capability on demand for your hardest work. So I'm going to skip the video. They're launching GPT 5.6 family of models for general availability. Following our limited preview, our new flagship Sol alongside Terra, which is a balanced model for everyday work, and Luna, their most cost-efficient model. So Sol sets a new standard for both intelligence and efficiency, achieving state-of-the-arts across coding, knowledge work, cybersecurity, and science while outperforming previous and competing frontier models with fewer tokens at a lower estimated cost. So this is actually kind of a big deal. If you can get, performance at least as good as other models like Anthropic's Claude models, but then you also can get a lower use, like output tokens. And I mean, therefore you're going to get a lower cost at the end of the day. In their case, they're saying that they're outperforming previous and competing frontier models. So they're beating what was previously done, and then the cost is lowering. So that's a very interesting claim. Well, interesting and very useful for people who are taking strong advantage of this kind of stuff, especially if you're using like an API, building out your own software, things like that. The result is stronger performance per dollar, more successful work for the same spend, comparable results at a lower cost. Very nice. They introduce a new way to accelerate most demanding work. Ultra is their highest capability setting, coordinating multiple agents across parallel work streams to finish complex tasks faster. So basically the stuff that that would typically take hours, by doing one task after another, sounds like it's getting a lot smarter, and you can hand it something very complex. It can break it down into smaller tasks, and then do all those tasks, at least the ones that can be done, at the same time. So that way, ultimately, you get it done faster. You get your results back faster. So that's really cool. Stronger computer use and design judgment make it their most polished collaborator yet, helping it inspect, refine, and deliver ready-to-use results. So that is really nice. Computer use is like basically the model along with the software that you're running on your machine is able to actually execute applications on your machine, and so it can go do real work on your behalf. So basically, think of this again. I always say this, but I say it again. Think of these as little AI employees. They've trained it to get more useful work from every token. Let's see here. I really kind of want to not get too deep into some of the numbers here, because you can always go look these up on your own. We can just kind of get a quick guesstimate though, like the score, these high scores above 50% on this agent's last exam. The dark blue is Sol, light blue here is Luna, and then this kind of mid blue is Terra, and these are running max. So effort level max, effort level high, high, medium. And so you can kind of see these are the max for the Luna and the Terra. So they're equivalent roughly there. You can see the cost, how long it took. So it takes longer on some of these. Obviously, looks like Luna is taking a lot longer on the max. Still getting around the same percentage output tokens. So you can see your scores. Opus, Quad Opus is a lot more output tokens. That's going to correlate with your cost, a lot higher cost. So the cost is going to be a lot lower on these models. Very nice. So it launches with their most robust safeguards, more resilient against determined and adaptive misuse without broadly limiting legitimate work. Very nice. Efficient by default, maximum performance on demand, best coding model yet. Okay, its max reasoning is the new state of the art at 80, 2.8 points above Fable 5, or using less than half the output tokens, taking less than half the time, costing about 1/3 less. That advantage extends across the family. Terra, which is the balanced model, performs just above Fable 5, while Luna outperforms Opus 4.8. That's a very interesting statement. Each does so in roughly 1/3 of the time, half as many output tokens, approximately 1/4 of the estimated cost. Very, very interesting. So That's very interesting. You can kind of see, we can see, you know, for each of these things, how is this kind of looking? So in this case, Sol Ultra mode is like way out here. And then Sol is kind of here around API cost of, where is they put the Opus at technically a little less than some of these other things for the terminal bench. They don't really have a latency of like Opus. I guess they're just kind of putting a standard, hey, this is the percentage. They don't have like a latency. Tokens, putting points here for how many tokens roughly it was. So very interesting. Still a lower score. Yeah, more tokens. But the cost itself for like a terminal bench, I mean, it's still technically not as expensive as the, oh wait, hold on now. Yeah, the Sol. So the Sol is technically more than Fable 5, and even the X High is still around the same. So when you start kind of digging into these things, you can see what it really looks like. So maybe some of it was a little exaggerated and some of it not. Like, I find this interesting. Just kind of looking through these things. It'd be good to just kind of go and glance through if you're interested in this kind of stuff. They say that GPT 5.6 can write and run lightweight programs that coordinate tools, process results, monitor progress, choose which next action as work unfolds. This lets tool-heavy tasks advance with fewer tokens, fewer model round trips, less guidance, instead of requiring developers to script every step or pass every tool response back through the model. Let's see here. Okay, their programmatic tool calling and the responses API can filter out large amounts of intermediate data, retain only what matters, and adapt its workflow. So they got like a layer in here in their API that basically helps the tool calling and lower cost overall. Okay, for problems that reward a greater investment of time and compute, it can push beyond its efficient default. Max gives it more time than X High to reason. Okay, Ultra goes further by coordinating 4 agents in parallel by default, trading higher token usage for stronger results, faster time to result. So, cool. Let's see what else they say. Is there anything else kind of here? It's better, drives better results for professional tasks. Takes messy context from your documents, from everyday workflows like Slack, Notion, Microsoft 365, Google Drive, converts it into expert level shareable artifacts. Strength on knowledge work shows up in evaluations. Okay. Improves quality in presentations, documents, and spreadsheets. Improvement is especially pronounced when following templates and reference decks. Creates a more visually refined documents and spreadsheets. Follows more complex reference formats more faithfully, which is important for repeatable knowledge work activities. Handles equations and financial models with greater precision. Makes better use of typography, spacing, hierarchy, and page or worksheet layout. Let's see here. Okay, it's their strongest cybersecurity model yet, achieving frontier performance with significantly fewer tokens. Let's see, important defensive tasks such as secure code review, patching, threat modeling, blue teaming. Okay. So overall, I mean, it sounds like, you know, they're hyping up their model. They're very excited about it. The question will be, you know, when you go to actually use this thing, does it feel smarter? Does it feel better? Or is it faster? What are you really kind of getting out of this? So they talk about how it accelerates their AI research as a part of their development loop. They're focused on safety and security with capability, and then their availability and pricing is available across ChatGPT, Codex, OpenAI API. Okay. All right. It's priced for 1 million tokens. For the 3 model sizes, Sol is $5 per input, million input tokens, $30 per million output, $250 for Terra in, $15 out. So half the cost for Terra. Luna is like 1/5, I guess. So very interesting. They have a note here at the end that it introduces more predictable prompt caching, including support for explicit cache breakpoints. Okay. So very interesting. You can see all the stats and go through all these in detail if you'd like, but the main thing being they've got a new model out. Go check it out. Go get hands-on with it, see how it performs. And these models just keep getting better. So nothing really more to say there. Let's see if we've got any questions or comments in our chat. Nope. Do we have any questions in our spreadsheet? Nope. Okay. Then in that case, let's move on to our next article from OpenAI. ChatGPT is now a partner for your most ambitious work. ChatGPT Work is an agent that can take action across your apps and files, stay with the project for hours if needed, and turn a goal into finished work. So let's kind of watch their little thing here. Introducing ChatGPT Work, built to take on your most ambitious ideas. They're showing off their new model here. Talking to the model. Connect to the apps you already use. Searching, okay. So they're looking across all the different apps that you have. Okay. Start with sourcing suppliers. Turn ideas into, okay. Let's turn all this into a leadership deck using our brand template. Nice. Love the annotations. Okay. So even when you're away from your computer, you can ask it to do things on your behalf. Okay. Very cool. So ChatGPT Work is an agent that helps you take on more ambitious tasks. Okay. Helps you gather information across your apps, workflows to create finished materials like sheets, slides, docs, and web apps. With Codex technology built in, ChatGPT can now move beyond just answering questions to get real work done across web, mobile, and desktop. Okay. More people than 5 million people use Codex every week. Although it began as a coding agent for developers, more than 1 million now use it for work outside of software development. Showing its capabilities can support a wider range of tasks. ChatGPT Work, to better manage these tasks, is powered by our latest frontier model. makes ChatGPT state of the art with reasoning, multi-step tasks. The best way to learn how to use it is to give it a task you already know well, analyze a month-end budget variance, turn source materials in campaign, marketing brief, prepare for a sales meeting. You can follow its progress, answer questions, change direction, approve important actions. Okay. So even when you're away from your computer or phone, it can keep projects moving forward with scheduled tasks. It can independently turn new messages from Microsoft Teams and Slack into updated docs and slides. Very nice. Okay. So let's see here. Nearly 100% of teams inside OpenAI, includes finance and sales, now use ChatGPT Work and Codex to move faster, take on harder tasks, spend more time with customers. Okay, they have some examples here of what they've done with it. Work anywhere, go further on your desktop. Okay, so you can swap to this work mode, I guess, in both places. Oh, and then on the desktop, if you're in chatgpt.com, you can click that work mode. Okay. Let's see here. On desktop, ChatGPT can use your local files and apps to get work done. For web-based work, its new built-in browser lets it bring websites, tools, and online files, giving you one place to move work forward. Okay. Starting today, okay, so here's the key. The Codex app is merging with the new ChatGPT desktop app. Codex remains the same powerful coding agent for developers and technical professionals, now with new capabilities across core workflows, including inline editing within diffs, pull requests, etc. Support for multiple repositories in a single project. So it's merging with the new ChatGPT desktop app. So the question I have is, if I update ChatGPT, am I getting all this in my previous ChatGPT app, or is this a new ChatGPT app? Let's see here. To get started, you connect your tools and contexts where your work already happens using plugins. Okay, so this can include CRMs, project trackers, etc. You pull context from a specific app by typing the @ followed by the app name in your prompt. Okay. New unified plugins directory brings plugins to one place. It can suggest relevant ones for your conversations. Once they're connected, it can understand what you're trying to do, create documents, etc., etc. We're introducing sites in ChatGPT public beta. With sites, you can turn your work or ideas into an interactive site or web app. Oh, that's cool. Share it with your team publicly through a URL. Useful when you want to create things like live dashboards, project trackers, launch calendars, prototypes. You can test it right now, right inside ChatGPT, and bring fresh web context to your project too. Very nice. Okay. Scheduled tasks will let you ask it to perform an action once, repeat it on a schedule when an event occurs, or monitor for changes over time. Okay. You can control how you may remain in control of how it works with you, decide what it can access, when it should check in, when it needs your approval before taking action. Very nice. Get work done faster. Okay. So they're showing obviously how these things can be used across teams. This bit about security and governance is kind of interesting. So your organization remains in control when it takes on more substantive work for your teams. Okay. So this is going to be really important for like enterprise, anybody especially who's in like a high compliance type of environment, like I'm in right now, and you want to really make sure that you're able to implement the controls appropriately. So it builds on Codex's enterprise governance model, admin controls, bringing enterprise safeguards to work involving local files, apps, browsers, tools. including policies for managing agent network access. Okay, cool. So that's good news for, if you're in an enterprise and you're looking for an AI tool. Sounds like they're putting some good, they're implementing some great features and controls around this kind of stuff for you. Okay. It's rolling out as of, I think the 9th was this article, on web, mobile, beginning with Pro, Enterprise, and EDU users, expanding to Plus and Business users over the next few days. Updated ChatGPT desktop app is available globally on Mac and Windows. Okay, if you already use the Codex app, you can update it as usual. Become the new ChatGPT desktop app. So you can make Codex the default view when you open the desktop app. Choose the Codex logo as the app icon. Okay. So it's designed for longer, more involved work. So this is cool. This is really neat. Sounds like they are headed in basically the same direction that Anthropic is with Claude. With basically what Claude did with Claude Desktop, they kind of made a single app and made it possible for you to do multiple types of things like Claude Cowork and Claude Code and Chat, all kind of in one desktop app for folks to use. So makes sense that they're doing this. All right, let's see if we've got any other questions, chat comments, anything like that. All right, I'm not seeing anything here from you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next article from OpenAI. GPT 5.6 is now the preferred model in Microsoft 365 Copilot. So if you're in the Microsoft space, this might mean something to you. They say that OpenAI announced 5.6. It will become the new preferred model in Microsoft 365 Copilot. So for Microsoft 365 customers, the update brings OpenAI's latest flagship model series into productivity tools that people use every day. Okay. So let's see if there's anything kind of interesting in here other than the headline. In addition to serving the models natively, Microsoft will also access OpenAI models directly through the API to bring 5.6 to Microsoft 365 customers. So basically, sounds like that is going to be the preferred model. If you use Copilot, then there you go. You're going to get access to this new model. Let's move on to our next article, this time from Anthropic, introducing a way to reflect on how you use Claude. Today, we're now introducing in beta a new way to reflect on and refine how you use Claude. In our interviews with users, a common theme that's emerging is a desire to better understand how exactly AI can be integrated into daily life. How often should someone use AI? How can it be used most effectively? When is AI suited to a task, and when is it better left to a human? We built this feature to help answer these types of questions. It lets you easily track and visualize how you use Claude and decide whether that time aligns with your goals. Your reflection dashboard can be found in settings on Claude for web or the desktop app. So you can see your patterns and shape them. It starts with a summary of how you've been using Claude, covering key topics, your usage patterns, the types of tasks that you often work through. Very nice. Okay, so there's under settings, there's this reflect option here, and it explains your stuff. Look back on Claude chat activity over the past 1, 3, 6, or 12 months. Gives you a breakdown of when you use Claude the most. They'll add soon, I guess, a feature of how much time you've been using Claude. Shows you how the breakdown. That's very nice. Your reflection also invites you to step back, examine the role that it plays in your life. What's one thing you want to keep doing yourself, even if Claude could do it faster, is one question that might surface. Within your dashboard, you can also set quiet hours and schedule a nudge to take a break from using Claude after a certain amount of time. So they say build AI skills that support your original thinking. You can use your reflection to build new skills and sharpen how you work with Claude using the 4D AI fluency framework. The 4Ds are delegation, description, discernment, and diligence. Delegation is setting goals and deciding whether and how to engage with AI. Description, effectively describe your goals to prompt useful AI behaviors and outputs. Discernment, accurately assessing the usefulness of AI outputs and behaviors. And diligence, taking responsibility for what we do with AI and how we do it. Your report gives you a summary of your Claude activity across each of these dimensions with examples of how you tend to collaborate with Claude, like noting that you often rework email drafts in your own voice or delegate tasks only after settling the strategy yourself. Your reflection will also offer practical suggestions like starting a project instead of needing to re-explain the context of ongoing work. Okay? So this does not draw from incognito chats, nor does it pull from underlying files from your connected tools. So that's nice for privacy, especially for sensitive topics. Let's see, if you ask Claude to summarize your inbox, that summary may come up in your reflection, but the source emails would not. Any conversation connected to a health integration tool is left out of your insights entirely. Okay, that's thoughtful. The information insights in your reflection stay there. They aren't used for any other purpose. You can read more about privacy practices. So, very nice. So basically they spent a lot of time kind of thinking through, some of these sensitive conversations. But it sounds like, sensitive topics can still appear in your reflection, but only at high level. That's very nice. So it is currently available in free pro and max users who have memory turned on. So you need to have your memory feature turned on for this to work. And if you don't, then it will not be able to work for you. All right. Let me see if we've got any questions. Comments. Anything from you guys? No questions, no comments. Let's move on to our last article here, or rather release note from Claude, or from Anthropic's Claude. On July 9th, they say a new way to reflect with Claude. Okay, so this is going to be that new feature we just talked about. Shows the topics that you spent time on, so on and so forth. So I don't think there's anything else to really add there. Now, we have spent a good chunk of time today kind of going through these articles as we always do. Got about 15 minutes left. I think I want to explore a tool called Hermes. And the reason I want to explore this tool is I've just heard a lot of people talking about it. They talk about, I hear people talking about ClaudeBot, and then Hermes is the new, exciting thing that everybody's all into. And I really just kind of want to understand a little bit about what exactly it is, how it works, things like that. And then, if I have enough time, I think it would be good to maybe see if we can hook this up to a real model. Particularly, I would like to see if I can hook this up to a local model on my machine. In my case, I have a good bit of memory to be able to take advantage of. So, I can run like Google's 12 billion parameter model without any kind of issues. Except maybe a delay in the live stream. So we'll see how that goes. But I want to really be able to see what this thing is capable of. And, is it really worth your time to use something like this? Or are you okay to just use like some of these tools that are coming out from Claude, from Anthropic, and from OpenAI, like Claude Desktop and OpenAI's new, ChatGPT with work mode or Codex or whatever it is that you're doing, because, it just doesn't make sense to keep adding tools unnecessarily. You only have so much time. You got to spend time learning how to use these tools and optimizing your workflows. So we don't want to waste our time on things that are not actually helpful. So let's go take a look. Let me do a quick Google for Hermes AI. And let's pull this up. I'm not sure if this is even the right one. Give me a second, guys. I don't want to, what I don't want to do is send you guys down a path for something that isn't actually useful. The idea is that it's supposed to be self-improving, which is, you know, kind of nice. Give me a second here. Hermes agent. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the right one. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and swap back over to the screen here. So if you look up Hermes agent on Google, so if I do like Hermes AI agent, you'll see this one pop up. It's this face. It's got the, it's really kind of hard to see. And I don't know if I zoom in, if you'll be able to see it any better, honestly. It's like this face of this girl here. And specifically the URL is hermes-agent.nos research. The AI overview here says it's an open source self-improving AI agent developed by Nos Research. Unlike standard chatbots, it features persistent memory, automated skill creation, and integrations with messaging platforms like Telegram and Discord. Works with models like from OpenRouter, OpenAI, local systems to automate complex workflows. So sounds cool. Sounds like something that could be, you know, kind of useful. It's supposed to be self-improving. So, you know, what that means, I don't know. I always question, you know, stuff like that to say, okay, well, what is it that I wanted to be self-improving in? Like, I guess I don't really, I view these little AI agents again as AI employees. And, you know, for any kind of business that I would run, typically I would expect an employee to have a particular role, have a particular set of skills that they use for that role, have certain responsibilities that they fill for that role. And, you know, I kind of view these AI agents in the same way, or these little AI employees the same way. You know, I don't really want an agent that can just do anything and everything. I want an agent that can do some set of things particularly well. And that's what I'm kind of, you know, looking for. So it would need to be self-improving in a particular way, like in a particular set of tasks. I mean, if in theory, if you could have something that was getting better and better at a wide set of tasks, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just don't know if that's the real goal here that I would be shooting for, and that really anybody should be shooting for. I would just think, you know, it's better to have more specialized agents. So anyways, that's kind of my quick perspective on it, but let's kind of zoom out here, and so that way we can go back here to the page here. It's open source under an MIT license. That's kind of nice. You can download, oh, there's a desktop app for this thing. Okay. So let's see what happens. So you download it. You have your agents here on the side. Every conversation is in one place. Okay. Live tool calls. Can export any chat. Okay, so you can export your chats. Group sessions by project. Okay, so here's your skills, your tools, artifacts in one place. Okay, you can customize the app. That's kind of nice. That's interesting. This feels very much like a I mean, this feels like ChatGPT. Or when I just kind of view it, it feels like ChatGPT or like Claude desktop. So in theory, these things are self-improving though. Images generated inline. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, they've got support for each of these. Lives everywhere, persistent memory. So you can connect it, integrate it with like Discord, Slack, WhatsApp, Signal, whatever you really want here. Learns your projects with persistent memory, auto-generates skills, never forgets how it solved a problem. Okay. Now that is kind of an interesting proposal here. You know, you're not restarting every single time. I wonder if that's per agent. Natural language scheduling for reports, backups, briefings, running unattended through the gateway. Focused every time. Okay. Tasks multiplied, isolated sub-agents with their own conversations, terminals, Python RPC scripts for zero context costs, pipelines. Okay, interesting. That's kind of cool. So you've got your own little sub-agents with your own conversations, terminals. Okay. Browse the web, web search, browser automation, vision, image generation, text-to-speech, multi-model reasoning, isolated sandboxing, 5 backends, local, Docker, SSH, Singularity, modal, with container hardening and namespace isolation. Okay. You know, they say all paid tiers include monthly credits for use in Hermes agent, access to 300 plus cutting edge models, and built-in tool use. So they've got that agent itself open source. Let's see what their plans are. Okay. Free models only, $0, $20 per month, $22 monthly credits, $10 rollover cap, 200 plus models. Okay. So they give you a little bit more than what you're paying for in terms of monthly credits. Okay, interesting. My first take on this is that, you know, there's been some other projects that are kind of similar, like Agent Zero. And I've kind of looked at this in the past. Let's accept the cookies. So like, this reminds me very much of like Agent Zero. Or, you know, obviously like ClaudeBot. Let's see here. For Agent Zero, work where your files already live, use agentic architecture that makes them reliable, carefully crafted prompts. get cutting edge memory and knowledge management for your agents. Yeah, so Agent Zero operates independently with a complete tool set for any task. They have a virtual computer. Yeah, so I mean, this is doing a lot of cool stuff. Let's see if Google can tell us what are the differences in features between the Hermes AI agent and Agent Zero. So Hermes focuses on local first, self-improving task routing, and autonomous skill creation. Agent Zero operates more as an open-ended web UI-based framework. They differ in environment, memory, and customization. Memory and storage. Let's zoom into here so you guys can see this. Hermes stores session memory and local SQLite databases, allowing for easy queryable project context. Agent Zero relies on vector memory through embeddings. Okay. Hermes is CLI first with a companion desktop app featuring voice mode and a file browser. Agent Zero features web UI, making it highly interactive through a browser. Task automation. Hermes automatically generates a reusable skill script based on your workflows. Can be shared or updated. Agent Zero leans into browser automation and complex Docker native workflows. Hermes boasts built-in gateways for 15 plus messaging platforms. Agent Zero provides robust secrets manager and runs natively in Docker. Okay. Flexibility. Hermes lets you freely route through hundreds of models. Like, okay. Agent Zero offers deeper web agent tools out of the box. So that's kind of interesting. I can see why a lot of people like Hermes. I'd be curious to understand more about what they mean by Agent Zero leans into browser automation. Like are we talking about automations for your browser? Complex Docker native workflows. That would be a very, very interesting comparison. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm definitely intrigued by Hermes. I think it would be worth giving it a try. So let's see what we can do with Hermes. Let's what is this about? Okay, so I guess this is about the company. Okay, interesting. All right, so here's our documentation. We get started. Download desktop, okay. Only agent with a built-in learning loop, creates skills from experience, improves them during use, nudges itself to persist knowledge, and builds a deepening model of who you are across sessions. So That's pretty cool. I mean, I could definitely see the appeal of this, right? Is it's kind of built with the intention of self-improvement. And that's kind of nice. Like, you don't have to really, it's nice that that's, you know, that's not something you have to really intentionally try to integrate or add to your processes, like how you handle it. So, okay. I'm curious. So it sounds like it can do CLI, and it can also do the desktop itself. Let's see here. What is a Hermes agent? If it's not a coding copilot tethered to a chatbot wrapper or a chatbot wrapper around a single API, it's an autonomous agent. Gets more capable the longer it runs. Lives forever wherever you put it, like a small virtual private server, GPU cluster, service infrastructure. Costs nearly nothing when idle. Talk to it from Telegram. Okay. Makes sense. What I'm curious about is, does it, you know, across like agents, does the memory system grow, and can I isolate it and things like that? Because I would probably want separate isolations. It does have a real-time voice interaction in CLI, Telegram, Discord, and Discord VC. Okay. Hands-on setup for voice mode with Hermes. Personality and Soul MD. Okay. Context files. Security, command approval, authorization, container isolation. Okay. How it works under the hood, I don't need to get into all that. That's fine. Skill system, procedurally memory. Okay. MCP servers, tools and tool sets. Okay. Makes sense. Let's see what else it says here. I think it's good to just kind of go through some of this so you understand like what this actually looks like. You know, especially if you're not I'll try to make this understandable for folks who aren't technical as well. It's nice that they have a desktop app. I think that makes it much more accessible for people. Like, one of the problems with Claudebot for most people who are not technical is they kind of just blindly follow whatever instructions people give them without really understanding what it is that they're doing. And that sets you up for some problems potentially with security. And, you know, like for other people who'd be interested but feel a little hesitant, it's just nice to have an interface that people can work with. So it's okay. Key features: it's got a closed learning loop, agent curated memory with periodic nudges, autonomous skill creation, skill set improvement during use. Okay. What is FTS5? Cross session recall with LM summarization. They got a lot of words in there that I don't even know. Like, I don't know what FTS5 is. Honcho dialectic user modeling. Okay. Runs anywhere, not just your desktop. Makes sense. Those where you do. Okay. Built by model trainers. Sure. Scheduled automations, built-in cron. Okay. When delivered to every platform, delegates and paralyzes, spawns sub-agents for parallel work streams, programmatic tool call. Okay. Interesting. Open standard skills compatible with agent skills IO. Skills are portable, shareable, and community contributed through the Skills Hub. Actually, I'm curious about this. I don't think I've looked at agentskills.io. Standard way to give AI agents new capabilities and expertise. Oh, so this is just the specification for agent skills. Oh, okay. This is just the specification. I thought this was going to be the portal. Let's see here. Skills are portable. Okay. Contributed via the skills hub. So there's, I guess, some kind of skills hub that they have. On, I don't know where you would find that. Full web control, search, extract, browse, vision, text to speech, one subscription via the portal bundles, all of them. Okay. MCP support. Okay. Okay. I mean, I think I'm ready to just get started, so get started. Let's do a quick install. So for Linux, Mac OS, etc. For a command line only install. Okay, without Hermes Desktop. So if you don't want Hermes Desktop, you run this thing. Okay, if you want to install and run Hermes Desktop after command line install, simply run this. So I guess if if you're not a developer, let's do a quick start. Oh, they got a master class. How long is this thing? Let's see. 28 minutes. Maybe I'll go back and watch that. I'm kind of interested, but okay, so they've got a quick start here. Install the Hermes agent. To easily install the command line and desktop applications, download the Hermes installer from our website and run. Okay, so you go here and then you click this. So you can install it either way. I can install it with the installer. You can install it with this command line tool if you prefer that. If you're a developer, obviously you can do that. So I'm gonna drag that over and install it. Hermes. Let's drag this over here so you guys can see it. All right. Install Hermes. So if I really wanted these things to run all the time, like 24/7, and I didn't want them to ever go down, I would spin up a VM. And last week I kind of briefly, what kind of inspired this was that we were looking at, what was the website? It was Hostinger. Hostinger.com. Hostinger.com. Oh, summer sale up to 80% off. That's kind of nice. But Hostinger.com had, if you go to their pricing, they had a thing that popped up here about Hermes. Let's see here. Do they still have it? They've got like a one-click Hermes agent. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So, if you just want to easily spin up this thing, you could come to, Hostinger, and then you could pay your fee. Looks like you get a certain percentage off probably right now for choosing a plan. And then you'll pay this. Let's see here. Renews at $11.99 for 2 years. Cancel anytime. So depends on obviously how much you're spending. If you're doing it on like a shared, okay, yeah. So this is for 24 months, right? Like if you're doing this at a 1 month, then your price goes up. Okay, that's just sales. So you could spend about $11 a month per month, and get this thing, and this would be on a shared. It's kind of like on shared server or infrastructure. It's ready to run out of the box, cheap. and probably honestly appropriate for just kind of playing around and stuff, because then you don't really have to, it's not going to be like super intensive probably for most of the stuff you're doing. But if you did need something that's more dedicated, like a dedicated server that has more power, then you could spin up this VPS. You could choose exactly, how many CPUs you want, what kind of memory you want it to have, stuff like that. I think most people are probably going to be just fine, even with a KVM2. But if you needed a lot, you could really go up here. But I mean, honestly, built-in web search, yeah, like, so there, you have options here. Hostinger seems to, it's kind of nice because you got a really easy way to set that up. In my case, you can launch it from here or anytime from your terminal with Hermes desktop. In this case, I am just installing it on my own machine, and you can do the same. The only thing is, if you do this, just know that you won't be able to do a thing like have it running 24/7. When your laptop goes down or your desktop goes down, let's move this here. When your laptop or your desktop goes down, then you're down. So let's see here. Let's get you set up with a Hermes agent. Connect a model provider to start chatting. You can open up more providers. So they try to have you go through their portal. You got a lot of options here. Open router is one of them. So connected. So I guess it's automatically detecting my Anthropic subscription. Let's see here. What else? What I want to do is I kind of want to like, I had this. So last week we looked at LM Studio, and I was very interested, in getting this 12 billion model up. We did play with it, so I'm very curious about if I can spin this thing up to, let's see here. It's been a bit since I last did this, and I have forgotten. I've done this once before, where I spun this up and connected it to Claude Code. I think it would be really great if I could connect this thing. So you go up to, I think, the developer settings in LM Studio, and this is after I've gone here and I've downloaded this thing. There's some other ones that would be kind of interesting, like there's this, I heard people talking about this one. I'm not sure. This is a multimodal model. It's been a bit, so I don't know exactly, but we'll just stick with our 12 for now that we have. So you search that, you choose it, you download it, and then you come over here to local server. You've got a status stop. You can turn it on. And then we have our server settings, so I can like change my port that I want it to be available on. I can require authentication. So let's see here with okay, so I can require authentication. I can manage my tokens, serve on a local network from other devices on the network. Yeah, I only want this to be running on localhost, so I'm not going to turn that on. Allow per request MCPs. Okay, enable cross origin. Yeah, this would allow you websites you visit to make requests. I don't want to do that. You want that off. Just-in-time model loading. Let's see here. Okay. It'll also include models that aren't yet loaded. Okay, auto unload unused just-in-time loaded models. Cool. Max idle time is 60 minutes. Only keep. Okay. I mean, these settings look good. If I manage my tokens, I can Let's do a new token. We'll call this Hermes agent. Allow per request remote MCP servers, so API clients can use dynamic remote MCP servers specified in the request. Allow calling servers from MCP JSON. Can use servers you defined in your. Oh, so this is allow API clients can use servers that you defined in your MCP JSON in LM Studio. Okay, so if I wanted to create one inside of this thing and then make it available to multiple agents, I guess I could do that, but I don't really want to do that. I like having it per. So I'm just going to copy my token. Okay, we're done. We've got our API token, and then we are going to turn this thing on. So we will do that, and then we will. Okay, so this is ready. This is loaded. So let's go to, oh, cool. We've got more information here on the right side. Okay, so we're going to go back to our Hermes agent. We're going to say, I have an API key. I'm going to paste my API key here. Connect. Open router connected. Oh, so I guess it thought this was a open router. A little concerned about that because I didn't specify the port or anything like that. I think we need to customize this. There's a lot of stuff here like agents, cron at the bottom, gateway. Open systems panel. Okay. Maintenance. Usage, system, sessions. There's got to be like a settings or something. Services settings? I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Let's see here. If you guys got any questions or you want to drop a message in the chat, feel free to do so anytime. I'm glancing over here and there to see if you guys got anything new. But we got all these skills, we got tools, etc., browse hub. But this is not really what I'm kind of looking for here. I really need new profile, default. Okay, so you can create profiles. Oh, interesting. So SolMD, your system prompt and persona baked into this profile. So you can kind of customize this thing. This isn't right though. This. It's nice that it tells me where it's at so I can go adjust this thing, but none, blank, test, create profile. Test is reserved. Test Hermes. Okay, it did create a test Hermes. So this is not okay. How do I custom? I need to know how I'm gonna set this to open command center sessions, messaging gateway stop. Let's see here. Okay, lots of... Vision auto detect using provider. I don't want to use these providers. I want to change my provider that I'm going to use. How would I do that from here? Gateway. This is a bit of a problem. This is not clear on how I can... There's test Hermes. We can delete that one, that profile. I don't need this from Open Router. Add provider. Okay, how did we get to this? Connect another provider. Can I not run a local? You guys are hearing all the rain in the background there. Have an API key instead. This is what I did before. LM Studio. Oh, okay. Well, there isn't. Okay, so here's an option for LM Studio. That's what we want. Man, what if you were running this through, I guess, through Ollama or something like that? I don't know how you would find. How did I even get to this? I want to know how I even got to this. Like, what's the... Do I need to go to services? Nope. That is definitely not. That is definitely not it. File, close, edit, autofill, toggle developer tools. Nope. How in the world? Approval mode smart, show terminal. You're at the latest version. All right, I will say this, guys. Like this is very confusing. Like if I was I guess for most people maybe it's not that confusing because maybe you're just using you know, some other system or like some other model from some hosted solution or something. I'm trying to run this from a local model, so maybe that's my problem. I'm just trying to find, like, I guess the place you go is you click edit models and then you hit add provider, and then somehow you get to this import config, export config. I have no idea. Bring all to front. This is a little, did I just miss a setting somewhere? Well, we'll just connect. We're connected to this OAuth thing, and there's all sorts of things here. And okay, so instead we're gonna choose LM Studio. And we're gonna put our key. And we're gonna put our, we do have to put our, you know, our, oh, here we go. Our local server in there. Put that override in there to force it. It's probably there by default, but okay. So now we got that, we're good there. The model that we're gonna look for is, okay, so now we gotta go up to model. We gotta select LM Studio. And we're gonna look for Gemma. Yep, there we go. We're gonna apply that. Default reasoning. Let's do a, I guess we'll start at a medium for default reasoning. And then we can, there's a lot of settings here we can change. We're gonna switch back to I don't know what's going on here. So configure mixture of experts. The aggregator is the acting model. I'm a little concerned because I don't really understand what's kind of going on here. I don't understand what this mixture of agents is about. Like, why is this even an option? Seems it's a little confusing. We can change our personality style here for our chat. Show reasoning sections, image attachments, how it controls how it's sent. Time zone. Okay. Appearance. I like this appearance. We're good there. UI scale. Maybe it would be nice to have this just a little bigger. And tool call display. Technical shows full input and output. Okay. Rich previews load from third-party sites. Okay, I can ask. Okay. Pet. Adopt an animated pet dex that floats over the app and reacts to what Hermes is doing. Okay. Interesting. Workspace, directory, code execution mode, how strictly execution is scoped across. To the current project. I don't even know what that means. Like, that's not really clear to me what that means. Persistent shell. Keep like code execution is scoped to the current project. But what is strict then? What does that mean? Does it mean per... I don't know. I don't know what that means. Persistent shell, keep shell state between commands. Okay. To pass into tool execution, file read limit. Maximum characters that it can read from one file request. So 100,000. So you could increase that if you wanted it to be bigger. There's a bunch of safety stuff, memory and context, voice. Okay. So you can choose. I guess what you want to use for your speech to text if you are doing speech to text. Not sure if Edge is a, if that just means this device. Oh, that's for text to speech. Oh, that's text to speech. Oh, I got it backwards. So speech to text, we'll use local. That's what we want. Read responses aloud. Automatically speak assistant responses. Okay. Edge voice. Load transcription model. Okay. So you can control a lot of this stuff. Not sure how well it'll work, honestly. Okay. So this lets me control a lot of other technical things. I don't think most people are probably gonna be getting into all this stuff like I am. Like, so gateway. Okay, start a private Hermes backend on localhost. This is the default and works offline. Okay, so this is how it, okay, so if you wanted to connect, like you wanted to run this desktop app and you wanted Hermes running on a separate server or something like that, and you wanted this to connect to that, you could do that through this gateway thing. I wish it was obvious about how you got to these settings, which it just does not feel obvious. But there are some additional like tools, like if you have certain tools you want to use, then you can go and get the API keys and stuff like that and put them into here. Like if you wanted to use 11 Labs to have it read back to you stuff, you could do that kind of stuff. Let's see. Okay. Okay, interesting. So, what would I want this thing to do? I guess that's the question, is I'm always like, if I don't have something specific that I want these things to do, then it kind of makes it difficult to come up with something. So let's just look here first. So we've got down here at the bottom, we can add prompt snippets, URL, paste images. We can do all sorts of stuff like that. We can choose the model. I can choose turning thinking on, change my effort level here. I can turn on voice dictation, start a voice. I don't think a voice conversation is going to work. Let's try it. So I'm very curious to know if this actually works. Are you able to hear and understand everything that I'm saying? And we're about to find out whether or not this is going to work for this live stream, or if it's going to kill the live stream temporarily while I while I load up the model. Okay. Well, didn't do it. I'm not really that surprised because I don't think this model is really capable of that, but we might be able to do voice dictation. Hey there, can you understand what it is that I'm saying? Who are you and what is your purpose? So I'm not actually sure if this is gonna, I mean, maybe it'll work. Depends on the model that's being used to transcribe. Okay, it did work. All right, so it said, let's send it and let's kind of see what happens here. So we are getting some progress here. Hopefully it doesn't kill our live stream, but we will see in just a second. Prompt processing progress, 23%. Okay, guys, we are still technically alive on our live stream. So let's see how this does. Prompt processing progress. Okay, 100%. Okay. Hermes agent, intelligent AI. Okay, my purpose is to help you with a wide range of tasks, answering questions. Okay, very cool. How can I help you today? Okay, so you know, if I wanted to add a capability, got a lot of things on here that are currently toggled on by default. So I wonder if we could YouTube content. What does this do? Transcripts to summaries, threads, and blogs. I honestly don't know if it's going to be capable of doing this out of the gate. Let's see, we got a lot of tools that are enabled. Browser automations. Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, so that text to speech goes through. When it said Edge, it meant Microsoft Edge. Interesting. I don't have Microsoft Edge on my computer, so we must have a separate server. And it can tell you if it's free or not. Very nice. Okay. Vision and image analysis. Web scraping. So I can choose these very, like I could choose Brave Search, for example. Let's see, computer use. Okay, I'm not setting that up right this second. Code execution, clarifying questions, browser automation, local browser. Headless Chromium, okay. So what I'm gonna be, what I am interested in, let's see if we can like take a YouTube video or something. So let me see. I want to find something that maybe, give me a second, guys. Let me kind of see if there's something specifically that, okay, this one would be good. Ouch, that blasted my ears. Yikes. All right. Let's have it, let's see if it can help me. Okay, let's swap back here. So I got a video here. I've got a YouTube video here that I'd like for you to summarize for me. Would you please? Oh, that's cool too. I noticed down here at the bottom it shows me how much context we have breakdown, and we can click that and we can see how much of the each of the pieces. That's really nice. Would you please proceed? Let's see here. Let's just say, here's the link. Okay. Let's see if it can do it. Just by default, you know, this is a scenario, you know, you open this Hermes agent thing for the first time, and you're just kind of looking to see what it can do right out of the gate without you having to do a bunch of stuff. So, okay, it's going to run this tool, YouTube content, fetch. So, okay. So it is doing this thing. It's pulling the transcript. Very neat. And then it's running this back through here. So far, it's not killing our... Okay. Okay, that took about a minute, roughly. I got the thinking mode on, obviously. So let's see here the key points: internal reform. So the video discusses historical theological reasons behind why Protestant Bibles typically contain fewer books compared to Catholic. Internal reform. Did not intend to create a new church or remove books out of malice. He was attempting to reform Catholic Church from within. Issue of indulgences. So this is all about the role of Martin Luther, the missing books, Council of Trent. Okay. The distinction between the 66, okay, is presented less as a disagreement over what is holy, is more as a historical divergence caused by the Reformation. While one side sought to strip away what they saw as the extra content, the other eventually codified these extra books into their official stance, part of the Counter-Reformation. Okay, very interesting. So it did work. Just giving a link here. So let's test some other stuff here. What if we wanted to go to Zillow and let's say thanks. Now, I need you to help me find let's see here. Find a home. Find homes for sale on Zillow. This will be a much more challenging task. It involves like web scraping and stuff like that. We can see how it actually does on Zillow. I'm looking for a at least a 3-bed, 2-bath, with 1,300 square feet. Let's say 1,600. We'll see what it can find. With 1,600 square feet, let's say in Austin, Texas, please give me the 3 least. Let's just have it do one. Let's have it do 3. 2 least expensive houses that match those qualifications. All right, let's see how this does. Oh, what was with the little hearts? That was interesting. So, okay. Oh. Okay, this is moving pretty quick. Opening Zillow.com. Okay. Cannot. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so yeah, so it's not going to be able to do it with just the browser as is. You would have to like set up like interactive browser, like a browser use type of thing. So we would have to come into like capabilities, look for like browser automation, like browser use, browser base. I mean, there's some other options, obviously. Local browser. Rather than just searching, maybe we can ask it to, can you try opening a web browser and work through this page by page? I'm not sure if it'll actually work. By default, I might have to customize it, but it's a good test still. So, oh, I wish I could scroll up within that. Running browser vision, okay. This thing seems to be working pretty fast now. Like I guess the initial load was kind of just the thing we're running into. Looks like verification is turning blank page. So I probably would have to set up some kind of like MCP or something like that. Okay. Sure. What other webs? Let's say just sure. I mean, keep in mind, guys, I'm using let's see here. I mean, I'm using a local model for all this. So can you try a website like Redfin? or maybe even find some websites dedicated to the Austin to real estate in Austin. Okay. What websites are the official are available for real estate agents selling homes? To be clear, I'm asking about MLS websites for Austin. Specifically. Okay, please look through those websites. To find my criteria, to find the homes that match my criteria. All right, guys, let's see how this does. I'm really impressed at the speed. You know, like, again, we're using a local model for all this stuff. It's not, you know, the fastest in the world, but like, doesn't have to be the fastest in the world. That's okay. We just want something that works well, like quality wise, and that is able to not take me an hour to get information back from. It on the appropriate MLS website. Uh-oh. You misunderstood what I meant when I said those websites. So we're already up to 30,000 tokens. Okay, we've hit a bit of a snag. It's taken some time to process the prompt. Hopefully our live stream doesn't die here. %37.7% as of down here. 43%. Let's take a sip of water while we wait for this thing. It's nice that I can see what the percent of progress is. Curious why we've got two separate processing. We've got two different prompts here that we're processing. I wonder if it's spinning up agents. No. We're getting there. Oh, is it that when you request? This is cool. I'm learning stuff about how these models work. So is it that when you request thinking, it sends that as one prompt separately? Okay. It's pushing back, and I may just not have it hooked up to the right tools, because what I want it to do, what I really want it to do is go out, look and see if there's websites where like these MLS records, I guess, or the properties on the MLS are displayed publicly. I know not everybody has, maybe not everybody has that, but some do. So I want to be able to see the listings that are displayed publicly, specifically. It's doing its best. I'm really, really curious about what these two are. So far this request has taken about 6 minutes. Sure. So there's this other some other prompts that is processing, and I am not sure what in the world this is. I'm very curious. But we're starting to get kind of late. So I am going to have to, I said I was going to go for an hour, but I ended up going for roughly 2 because I was just, I let my curiosity get the best of me. So guys, I am going to call this a night. It was good to hang out with you again this evening. Thank you for being here. Hopefully it was useful. Hopefully you learned some interesting stuff. Hermes sounds kind of interesting. I think it would be neat to play with it a bit more, customize it and tweak it some more, see if you could personalize it a bit more. Neat that I could hook it up to a local model and do some stuff with it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'd be worth it at some point to invest some time into it. But for now, I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you guys very much for coming. But before you go, I do want to let you know that if you would like to get reminders of our live streams like this in the future, I actually do have a link, and I'll post this link here for you as well. I send out, let me go ahead and put this into YouTube, and let's pop it into Facebook as well. And then let's go ahead and put it here on Rumble. So if you guys want to get an email reminder when these do come up, I try to at least, get it a couple hours out, ideally 24 hours out before we have these sessions. And then you get a 10-minute reminder as well that the live stream is coming up. So if that's you, if you want to be able to join these going forward in the future, then you can jump in that live stream link and then sign up for it, and you'll get those emails coming through in addition to any social media posts that I make. So with that said, thank you guys again for being here. Hope you have a fantastic Tuesday evening, and I will see you next time. Take it easy. Bye-bye.